If you ain't talking money, then I don't want to talk.
Still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like jack boys. Catch them slipping and slang them. Treat them like jack boys. Catch them slipping and slang them. Then I'm still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like jack boys. Catch them slipping and slang them. Treat them like jack boys. Catch them slipping and slang them. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like jack boys. Catch them slipping and slang them. Treat them like jack boys. Catch them slipping and slang them. Then I'm still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like jack boys. Catch them slipping and slang them. Treat them like jack boys. Catch them slipping and slang them. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like jack boys. Catch them slipping and slang them. Treat them like jack boys. Catch them slipping and slang them. Then I'm still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like jack boys. Catch them slipping and slang them. Treat them like jack boys. Catch them slipping and slang them. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like jack boys. Catch them slipping and slang them. Treat them like jack boys. Catch them slipping and slang them. Then I'm still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like jack boys. Catch them slipping.
the right to self-defense, a young brother exercised his God-given right to self-defense. He has to stand trial. before a jury of his peers in Texas to see whether or not the act was done in self-defense or whether or not it was done in cold blood. I wasn't there. You wasn't there. I don't know what happened. You don't know what happened. But what I do know is no young black boy who gets good grades in school, never been arrested, never been in trouble with the law, is going to take somebody's life just because he feels like it. Now, I've been studying psychology my whole life. I have 3 degrees in it, including the highest credential, which is a doctorate in clinical psychology. Nobody's going to convince me that this young man decided to take a life in broad daylight for no reason at all. I might have been born at night, but I wasn't born last night. But I want to say this to all you Africans on the internet who are apologizing to Caucasian nation for what happened. I'm sorry to the family that they lost their loved one. I'm sorry to the family that they lost their loved one. I make no jokes about it. No one should lose a child. Black, white, red, yellow, or brown. No one should lose a child. No one should lose a child. But I must say to Caucasian nation, you take the life of black people on a daily basis without consequence. Police kill us on a daily basis without consequence. White men kill us on a daily basis without consequence. White women kill us on a daily basis without consequence. Look at all the black men murdered by their white female lovers. Look at all the black men murdered in this country by their white female lovers. Look at all the black people murdered by police every day in this country. Look at all the so-called vigilante justice. George Zimmerman pursued an unarmed Trayvon Martin and unalived him. George Zimmerman pursued an unarmed Trayvon Martin and unalived him. Do we need to go down? What about all the mass of black people by Caucasians in this country? Dylan Roof is still alive and breathing. Dylan Roof is still alive and breathing. So to Caucasian nation, it is very hypocritical for you to say black people need to feel for your loss. Although we do, because we are the only human beings on this planet. According to your scientists, we are the only 100% organic, certified, real human beings on the earth. All other human beings have Neanderthal DNA except the African. But you want us to feel for your loss, but you didn't feel for us when Trayvon died. In fact, you gave money to Trayvon's killer. You gave money to Michael Brown's killer. You raised money for the people who unalived us. And you feel, listen, we are sorry. We don't delight in the loss of life because we are Africans, the only genetic human beings on this earth. But it is hypocritical for you to cry justice before the facts have been laid out, when your people have been so guilty of unaliving our people. The double standard must stop. Y'all still doing documentaries on O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson was found innocent in a court of law, and y'all still doing documentaries on O.J. Simpson. Do you know why y'all still doing documentaries on O.J. Simpson? Because in your racist narcissism, you believe you have a right to take our lives, and we don't have a right to take yours in self-defense. You believe that you have a right to take our lives, but we don't have a right to take yours in self-defense.
It's always, and I've heard this so many times before, welcome to the Black Cracker Show. We're us black crackers. You know, we don't like none of these niggers to ever cross the law. As a matter of fact, that boy, Carmelo Anthony, is guilty. That's what he is. He's just big, black, and dumb and guilty. Never mind his fair share in the court of law. We don't believe none of that stuff here. Because if it was a white guy, and there were two brothers standing over here, even though it was just one, and he was beating the crap out of him, there is no excuse for that person to stab another human being. But why is that? Where do they get this attitude from? Where do they get this idea from? Where did they get this mentality from? I don't understand it. I don't understand it for the life of me. I think Angry Man, is that boy Hungry Man or Hangry Man or whatever his name is? Yeah, that cracker boy. Anyway, I do agree with that some scum bum that black people in this country got a problem. That's why I call it the Black Cracker Show. And that damn sheriff, he's like an ex-cop or something. Look like a big old coon. Officer Tatum, that's what. Tantrum, that's what I call him. Officer Tantrum. Officer Tantrum's running around like a goddamn big old icicle, big old fickle, running around like a big old human tire talking about black people have been racist since the beginning of time. Who the hell told this black person? And who's this person on the screen right here? Who's this person? Dr. Omar? Omar's what it is. Every time I hear him, because he's black, what was it saying? Black queens forever and snow bunnies never. He ain't never had a good snow bunny. That's what it was. He ain't never had a good snow bunny. This is half these crackers over here, including Charleston White. He's had a snow bunny here and there. I know there's nothing wrong with a snow bunny. There's nothing wrong with these damn snow bunnies. Right now, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna transition here to a good friend of mine, and his name is Cracker Ass Cracker. I think his name is. Let me see what his name is. I don't want to butcher the guy's name. Jason Wood-Loc. Jason Wood-Loc is the biggest sumbitch on the face of this planet doing commentary. We're gonna play a little bit of this god darn it clip. This is not supposed to be a racist issue, but people like that doggone it know how to turn it into a racial issue. God bless.
Hey, I forgive the killer. This isn't a racial incident. Austin Metcalf's father did say he took one little shot before that, like, hey, who raised this kid? But then he went on to say, I forgive him, and this isn't a racial deal. And so any parent would have that instinctive reaction if their kid got killed by another 17-year-old kid over a disagreement about a seat, and their kid got stabbed in the heart. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter what color you are, any parent's natural reaction will be like, who raised this kid? What's this kid's background? But not every parent would then
It's
pivot
always,
to, I forgive this man, and this wasn't a racial incident.
it's always never about color. It's not about color. Then what the hell is it then? Because obviously, it's is it intent? Is it a natural order? What is it supposed to be if it's not about race? Sure, I can say it's two 17-year-old boys, right? Wasn't it the other day that it was an Hispanic and a white kid who got into a scuffle in a bathroom and one got stabbed to death? One got stabbed multiple times and the other one just ran away. Oh, what about the Trayvon Martin incident? Oh, that wasn't racist. And the guy that was on the guy that was on the train station in New York, the service station. People are now picking and choosing because they are full of shit. I heard so many things today. So many things today that just rattled my nerves. And I haven't heard so many conservatives in my lifetime. And shouts out to Sharon. And even though we have disagreements. You have people out there who swear up and down that this kid is guilty by default. He may be guilty of using the wrong type of method. But I believe once and for all that this kid is scared. I believe and once and for all that this kid did not know that he was doing, even though we don't know most of the facts. We don't know what went on. We just know what has been heard already 10 times over. That's why when I played the Nathan Daly tape, it should have told you. It should have told some of you, it should have told some of you that this case is not over by a long shot. There are so many holes and so many things missing in this case that the witnesses, there were so many witnesses in this case. There are so many videos in this case. They confiscated a whole bunch of cell phones. And I'm wondering, did they confiscate Carmelo Anthony's cell phone? Because obviously he was on the phone. But the phone broke or whatever. Hopefully it's still operational. Then after it was all said and done, I'm hearing a whole bunch of different stories. One coming from this white kid that I believe it was the oldest twin that came up to Carmelo and said something to him that obviously kind of rattled the kid a little bit. And then that's when Austin came in. Austin came in and acted as the aggressor. When you act as the aggressor and you start putting hands on people, expect a reaction, right? But again, there's a big gap between what Austin said and what Carmelo did. Way too big of a gap. But this does not mean we get to go around and threaten people's families. This is what we do not do. We do not go around and we do not threaten people's families. We do not dox and we do not tell lies. Because everybody and their mama got a microphone. Everybody and their mama got a cell phone, a laptop, a PC, and they just do what they need to do to get clicks and views. I heard some shit today that just made my blood boil and made me just want to quit YouTube altogether. But this shit is ridiculous.
So that man, Austin Metcalf's father, shows up at this press conference. And so that man offered an opportunity for Carmelo Anthony's family to say, and their spokesman to say, hey man, I understand your grief. I completely get it. We're sorry that your son lost his life. We appreciate you. We're trying to remove the racial element from this. We appreciate the forgiveness you've offered to Carmelo Anthony, our son, the person I'm fighting for. We would prefer for you to leave this press conference. That would have been an appropriate statement, unless you want to come up here and we can be a symbol to everyone that, hey, we're not going to racially divide this thing. Both parties are going to seek what their perception of justice is, but we don't want to spark more racial division.
That is such a crock of shit if I have heard it. It's already been racial divided. People just don't want to see it anymore because of, I don't know, they feel like they've overcome it somehow. If you've overcome racism in America, if you overcome this thing, this prejudice, this everything that you try to ignore, but somehow, some way, it keeps haunting you in a way, through police brutality, through murder, through theft, through guilt, through, oh, I'm sorry, I went through the wrong door. I went through the wrong door and I actually shot the wrong guy. This is some Apollonian shit. And I don't even like Apollonia all that much, even though that was Prince's girl. I'm getting sick and tired of the escapism. I'm really getting sick and tired of it. If you don't want to be black, just fucking say so. If you do not want to be black, just bleach your fucking skin. And just go over to the other side and just date a whole bunch of white people. Just stop being black for once. Just stop. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Metcalf died because he put his hands on the wrong person. Period. But oh no. If everything was turned, if a white guy was sitting there, first of all, if I put my hands on you, I get suspended. They will suspend my black ass. And I'm the captain of the football team. I'm the captain of the track team. I'm too big to run track. This is crazy. This is ridiculous. But you hear these black crackers all day make the same excuse for the white man. Why don't you apologize to that some bitch that just came over and was just staring? They're just at a press conference. Give it time to breathe. That was just the wrong time. Normally, and stuff like that, if there were more family involved, clash. But police officers were there, or actually he got kicked out because the owner said, If you do not remove yourself, I will remove you by calling the Dallas police, which was a good thing. It was the right thing to do. Oh, if you just go ahead and you just apologize to the family. For what? No. That's the right thing to do. But I apologize. I apologized long enough. I said what I said about Metcalf. I said it was a tragedy. I don't know why my son brought a knife to school. Maybe he feared for his life. Maybe he's been in different incidents. I don't know. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know what happened. But it was too little, too late. But they tried to spin it, and this is very, very funny. They tried to spin it in a different time in a different place where the I forgot what the kid's name was. The Allison kid, the white boy stabbed the Mexican or the Hispanic in the chest multiple times. He was bleeding in the hallway. There was a streak of blood coming out from the bathroom to the hallway, right? Black conservatives online use that lane to get the bag. I side eye any individual who is 100% on one side. And you know what the trip is, TMK? You know what the trip is? The trip is to me that if it were their situation, they would try to coon their way, just like Charleston White. Just like Charleston White. I don't know why people for the life of me, I don't know why people follow this dude. I don't know. He's a joke. He's a clown. He's an agent. That's the most thing I can say. But people follow him for whatever fucking reason it is. It's just they want to laugh. I mean, 1 minute he's talking down to the black community, and then in the next minute he's on a honky show. He's down South Arkansas having some Confederate flags all around his neck, talking about these is white lives matter, white lives matter, white lives matter. Attention, all black crackers. Just leave. These are the same ones that promote, believe it or not, I'll bet you, these are the same ones that promote Sexy Red. I'll bet you these are the same ones that promote Sexy Red.
Dominique Alexander, this Al Sharpton clown. Well, I don't, because Al Sharpton's a clown too. But this knockoff Al Sharpton with no command of the English language, no discernment, no logic, no reason, no evidence, no intelligence, it seems, opens up this press conference, taking a dump on the victim's father. Is that not whatever? Yeah, that's SOT number 3, it says here. Let's play that clip.
I want to start off this press conference to say something as a deep note. A deep note that I can tell America. What we've seen at the beginning of this press conference, the father being at this press conference, these are my words. Don't quote anybody. Is a disrespect to the dignity of his son. Next Generation Action Network from the beginning has respected the loss of life. No matter our opinion of it, we have kept our opinion close. We have not attacked. We have not shared the information that was shared with us about Austin Metcalf, because we respect the dignity of life and loss. And as a minister, I would not attack a grieving family, even if I agree with them. When I have stood before this podium for people who have died at the hands of law enforcement, I have asked for that same manner of respect. And even when the shoe is on the other foot, I will not do that. And all I'm going to say, so it don't be asked later, is that was disrespectful and just shows you all the character who is not invited. He knows that it's inappropriate to be near this family, but he did it. And so I say to people, actions speak louder than words. Okay? What he has failed into is the political operatives that want to make this thing a political thing of hate, yet bigotry, and yet racism. We have conservative operatives that have been posting nonstop about this case. It is outright disrespectful. We haven't been doing it. The Next Generation Action Network has.
This, instead of this ambulance chasing Negro is one of the most ignorant people, repugnant people I've ever seen on a television camera. This ambulance chasing Negro that can't say the word that, it's inappropriate to be anywhere near this family. And he's right. Austin Metcalf's dad is risking his life being anywhere near this family. The last time a Metcalf was anywhere near an Anthony, a Metcalf, not a Metcalf, a Metcalf was murdered. This is the facts that he seems to be ignoring. So it be inappropriate, a disrespect to his son by showing up at the press conference. It disrespects the dignity of Austin Metcalf. I will not attack a grieving family as you attack a grieving family. This is insanity. And I'm so sick.
Your punk ass didn't need to be there. What did you need to be there for? I would have thrown your little monkey ass out of the side of the road too. You standing there and you were expecting what? Oh, we're gonna come together. I have no idea. We're gonna come together and we're gonna sing Kumbaya. Not at this time, no. Not at this time, no sir, no ma'am. You let those people deal with what they have to deal with, grieve it. When are we gonna stop being such apologists? Of course, we're gonna have to deal. He's gonna deal with the consequences. But again, do not know all the facts. The boy is 17. You're not gonna get any more than what is already out there. He's 17. So just leave it alone. But apparently, Black America, my God, some of us need to, procreate to Africa. And it's true what Marcus Garvey said. Some of us don't even need to be in Africa because of the trouble that you like. You bring your basketball, you bring your problems to Africa. Africa has their own problems already. But beside all that, ain't it this the same big boy that disrespected the LeBron family? Ain't it the same person that was taken up for the white broad that was on that show? I forgot what show that. I don't even watch that show anymore. That's on Fox, and he ended up getting kicked out on Fox, right? The same one. It is the same one that keeps going after Stephen A. Smith, even though Stephen A. Smith got his own issues. I mean, we talking about a black conservative, aka you need to put on a white sheet and continuously kiss the white man's ass. That's what you need to do. This is the same one that stressed out over what LeBron was talking about. And LeBron's an idiot. LeBron's this. LeBron raised 3 sons. 3 black sons. And we're gonna do this. Okay. All because the lawyer or whatever is say, let us grieve.
Of the people trying to both sides this argument. Trying to, because they're taking their cues from this career criminal, no command of the English language, an idiot. They're taking their cues from him. These right-wing social media influencers. They're destroying justice and they're putting out misinformation. And I'm looking at people run out to try to Dominique Alexander's right. The problem with this case isn't that a 17-year-old brought a knife to a high school event and stabbed someone over typical teenage disagreement. No, the real problem is these tweets from these right-wing conservatives. That's the real problem. And it must be addressed. This racial idolatry is out of control everywhere.
Of course he did. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna give Nick Fuentes' his racist ass a pat on the back. But you know what? To give kudos, Nick Fuentes did whoop his ass, though. I will give him that. He did whoop his ass.
This thing is so clear cut. And I don't care if Austin Metcalf grabbed this dude's arm, grabbed his book pack. If he called, and I'm sure they'll claim, he called him the N-word. I don't care. I've been called the N-word by black people and white people.
I know you don't care. Well, I mean, I truly do know that you do not care. And I truly do know that you, well, let me not go there. Let me not go there. I will be as civil as I possibly can because I can really go in on this guy like I've done in the past. But yet, I'm going to say this. It's contradicting. It's not contradicting. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked. You never cared about us particularly. You never cared about LeBron James because LeBron James, it happened to him the same way. Remember when in one of his properties in California got sprayed the N-word across his driveway or his, what it was in his garage door? I don't care how many properties LeBron James got. What does that have to do with the price of tea in China? If we can't admit in 2025 that racism still exists, but it plays a different role in society, I can't help you. And literally, you can't help yourself with your weight. You can't help yourself with your mouth. You can't help yourself because mainly you're just doing your own fucking podcast and no one's paying attention to you. No one politically, literally, until Nick Fuentes put you on notice. And I'm not giving any type of credence. I'll give a kudo. This is like I said, that boy put him in his fucking place. But you, my friend, I am not shocked that you do not care about your Africanity. You do not care about where you are in society, that they can take away your privilege to have a voice here in America. If they were to snap their fingers, your shit would be non-existent. And for you to even make light of this is beyond me, sir.
Throughout my life, never grabbed a knife and stabbed anyone. Never pulled a gun and shot anyone. If you have that little self-control, if you're that easily triggered, if the culture that you adhere to is that easily triggered, oh, someone grabbed me by the arm, I have the right to stab them. Someone called me the N-word, I have the right to stab or kill them. If you have that little self-control, you need to be on a reservation somewhere.
It's quite funny that even though we've been dealing with our own problems in society, this black on black crime thing, which is quite orchestrated by white society, aka white supremacy, and that now that and this has been happening, but this is mainstream now. This is all mainstream. It is now that there's a black boy that was protecting himself through other means other than his fists. And again, we don't even know what happened. We don't know, and we won't find out until possibly a year or two later. Maybe. I don't know. Because if that were me, I would be scared for my life too. Even though I have that fight or flight syndrome that automatically shuts on each and every single time that I feel that I'm threatened. Because it's happened to me before. I've been threatened with a knife. Me personally. I've been threatened with a knife. I've been threatened with a gun by both black and white. I fear more a white person than I fear with a black person, because a black person is like, okay, this is close to home. But with a white person, this is familiar territory. But I'm not dying at the hands of a white man, because this has been happening for decades. decades and decades and decades. Has anybody familiarized themselves with Rosewood? Has anybody familiarized themselves with Mississippi Burning? Has anybody familiarized themselves with A Birth of a Nation? It's like we were when the mob in Rosewood, when of course when the guy was completely innocent of all wrongdoing, and the girl was screaming bloody murders, almost like Emmett Till all over again, except one's an adult and the other one's a child. But they were screaming bloody murder, and you got the mob right there with no feeling, no remorse, no logic whatsoever. They just like going after the person that is guilty. But when they found out they were wrong, did they say sorry? When they start, right after they burned everything, did they say sorry? Oh, I'm so sorry. She cried wolf. I am so sorry I had to kill thousands of you. I am so sorry we burned your what was it? Your establishment down to the ground. Everything ruined. I'm so sorry. Was there a sorry coming out of them? No. So why should we be apologetic? It's ridiculous.
Locked away from the rest of humanity and society that has more emotional control than that, and doesn't buy into a culture that says any disrespect must be met with more disrespect.
Yolanda, you look and sound familiar. Have we met online somewhere? You sound familiar. This title is hilarious. I made a video or two about the guys on your thumbnail. I thought I was the only one thinking overboard. Yeah, I think I know you. I know you from somewhere. It couldn't be the Umar sector. It couldn't be. Welcome aboard. Welcome back, anyway. Hey, antisocial. Y'all, if you will hit the loud. Thank you, Puddin'. Thank you, Puddin'. This is very not surprising. I'm not shocked. Again, I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised. I'm taken aback because this guy has done it before, and you wonder why he's not on Fox anymore. He's not on any NFL network. He's on his own. He's literally on his own. And there's a reason they got rid of Jemele Hill, by the way. And I'm not she ain't. I'm taking a back shit. I can't. It's so funny. I can't even say the words I want to say. It's like she ain't getting away with this. I seen you on Ganya's channel. I think Guga's channel. Not too familiar with her, but shouts out to her. Shouts out to her. I'm gonna play a few minutes of this, and I'm gonna move on.
This is insanity, what we're seeing. It's scripted insanity, though. And when Jake Lang gets here, and I like Jake Lang, And I respect what he went through on January 6th and them 3-4 years he did standing on his head in prison. Hats off to Jake Lang. But this damn protest, Protect White Americans in Frisco, Texas, I got some real questions about, and I got some real questions for Jake Lang. And does he understand the big picture? Because they have put this Dominique Alexander, this bought and paid for illiterate clown on one side to drum up racial division. And now there's a caravan of people going to Frisco, Texas to drum up more racial division. And no one can see.
Hey, stupid! Hey, stupid! We're already divided. What are you talking about? do not stick my shit up. We're already divided. What are you talking about? There ain't no racial togetherness. Since when? Well, I forgot. Oh, the Super Bowl came on. We got together in droves, huh? The NCAA tournament, we got together in droves. That's togetherness. Hell, we just had WrestleMania today, and we have a diverse of racial people, not racial, but colorism, whatever you call it. We got a diverse of people on the WrestleMania. We got black, we got white, we got Hispanic, we got Asian, we got all these types for one night and one night only. After that, we're going home. And hopefully, guess what? What out of the black people, out of white people, out of Asian, out of Hispanic, out of Mexican, out of Indian, who fears getting pulled over at night? Who the fuck fears getting pulled over by the police at night just because you have a broken tail light or some shit? I'll wait. Who gets pulled over the most? Hell, who gets searched the most? Something like you might think about there. But we're already racially divided, you fucking buffoon.
What's going on here? And Stevie Wonder, with a brain, should be able to see what's going on here. They want tomorrow for there to be conflict, for there to be some sort of incident. They want Charlottesville 2.0. They want January 6 2.0. They want some sort of race war. And they're going to send agitators to make sure that happens, in my opinion. And when they do, when they get this racial conflict, the argument coming out of that will be, we got to change venues. You can't have this trial in Collin County. You can't have this trial in Denton County. You have to change the venue, because Collin County and Denton County, which basically cover the Frisco, Texas area and Plano, Texas, where they live, both parties live, went to school, high school, in those counties. We got to move this someplace where there's more black folks. We got to get this, we got to move 20 miles to Dallas County. We have to move this trial somewhere where we can get more black jurors on the jury.
Why not? What's the problem with that? I mean, rumor has it, and this is just a rumor, I don't know, I just heard it, that this was going to be an unfair trial. Think about it. They're in the state of Texas. In the state of Texas, you have How many whites to blacks? I'll wait. In the state of Texas, who commits more crimes in Texas? I'll wait. Hell, it even says here, in Texas, the rate of racial murders varies by race. In 2023, 8,842 murderers in the United States were white, while 6,405 were black. A further 461 murderers were in other races, including American Indians and Alaska Native, Asians, and I should say Native Americans. But anyway, in Texas, the number of persons arrested for crimes of murders decreased 7% from 2009 to 2022. In other persons arrested for murders, 89% were males. In 2016, Texas law enforcement agencies made 907 murder arrests, with 61.8% of suspects being white and 37.2% being black. And that's in the state of Texas. That's in the state of Texas. Oh, that's because they don't like me. Because I stand for something. Because I like black people. I just don't go for anything. I just don't go, oh, we should apologize to them because we acted. That wasn't supposed to happen. They acted a damn fool. And he should get the electric chair. He should get the electric chair? A 17-year-old get the electric chair? And I am so taking a back seat to Mr. Judge Joe Brown. Yeah, please, definitely hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And if you haven't done so, please become a member of the We-On-Loc Nation channel. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, please.
They want jury nullification. They want a mistrial. They want a hung jury. They know this kid is guilty. But they also know that black Americans have been so programmed, have been so brainwashed into anything that hurts white people is good for black people. Any misery that we can spread and share with white people. And so as black people, we can't socialize and hang out with each other without going through metal detectors in a nightclub because it's so dangerous. And so many of us get killed by this disrespect culture.
Here we go.
It's a good thing that white people in the suburbs experience that too.
Here we go.
I'm going to show you what they're looking for and why they are intent on stirring up enough trouble and enough drama so that they can argue, change of venue. Get this out of Denton and Collin County. Let's move it out of the suburbs where only 10% of the population is black, and let's get it to Dallas County so that we can get 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 black jurors. Who knows if we're lucky? And of that 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 black jurors, can we get one who thinks like this video I'm about to play you? I'm sorry. Yep, let me, I'm looking at, this is the Sneeko video. Sneeko is some internet influencer. He does the.
Oh, God, no, not Sneeko. Godly. Oh, Jesus.
What internet influencers do? They interview people on the street, you know, sit at a table in a mall, interview people.
Yeah, this same old crackhead, Hispanic boy. He hand strokes Fresh and Funk too much. I mean, this is what this boy does all day, every day. He goes up. This is the dude that was at somebody's house and Myron, Fresh Funk, whoever he portrays himself to be, put on the white sheet and tried with the holes in it and tried to be funny, talking about he's the Klan and yelling, nigga this, nigga that, nigga this, nigga that, thinking he's funny. And Sneako's just, that's hilarious. Oh, don't get in trouble. That's why he got punched in the mouth by security. If I was there, boy, be trouble.
And so he's doing like a Steven Crowder, Changed My Mind. Sneako, you guys know him. I know the name. I don't know anything much about him, but I found this video interesting. He's sitting down with a young black man, interviewing him about the Carmelo Anthony case. And I want to play you this 2-minute video, and I want to show you what they're looking for. They want someone who thinks like this on the jury, and that's why they're happy that Jake Lang is leading a Protect White America.
I wasn't there. We wasn't there. We don't really. Hey, Jungle getting beat up. So.
Retard is representing the Carmelo Anthony family. Let's play SOT number 11.
Do you think that was self-defense? He brought a knife to a track meet. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I brought knives to school every day for years.
You went every day?
I brought knives to school every day.
You going to school every day? Why?
I got jumped. I had my nose broken. I had a concussion. I couldn't go to school for 3 weeks. I've seen people my age younger get robbed. I've seen people my age younger get beat up for no reason. I've seen people have petty grievances and take it out on other people for stupidness. So at a certain point, you have to, when it comes down to you or somebody else, you're always going to pick yourself. So if he had a knife, I get it. Because sometimes, you by yourself and you outnumbered, what are you going to do?
You have the right idea. You have the right idea. How many times? And please, let's not kid ourselves. I call it a racial issue because number one, we are not. This isn't. We are the world. There ain't no gold at the end of the rainbow. Where is our independence? Where's our reparations? Where's our competitiveness? Where's our need to be competitive? Where are all these jobs where black people can compete with all these other ethnicities? Where? If you just given us our 40 acres and a mule and $100, we would have been fine. And we would have just progressed on our own, came up with our own laws, and we would have our own selves to blame. We would put ourselves in charge. We would have created our own laws and our own securities and everything else in between. Hell, we would have came up with our own constitutions. But people like to put history in a back seat. The history of how we've gotten to this place in the first place. And we have gotten so tired. These black crackers have gotten so tired, so depressed, that they would say, we're just going to go along to get along, and we're just going to keep making money this way. I never said you couldn't make money, dummy. I never said that you couldn't get along with the people that you work with. But after a while, it becomes foreign to you. After a while, you start becoming friends with old Joe Schmo. and you're smoking cigars and cigarettes, and the next thing you know, you're shaking hands with his wife and everything, eating mayonnaise sandwiches. You don't care what happens to you. Guess what? When the sheriff pulls you over, and let's just say you have your white buddy in the car, is your white buddy going to sign for you? Is he going to protect you? Hell no. Thank you. All right. I'll just let this play.
But I think that Austin just asked him to move out of his seat.
I wasn't there. We wasn't there. We don't really. At the end of the day, like I said, whether or not he did, whether or not it went the way Austin said it went, or Austin's brother, whether or not it went the way Carmelo said it, this is one of those things about seeing race. Carmelo's gonna be the bad guy in that picture regardless.
Well, he's free now. He just said the bond was posted, he's home, and they raised $400,000.
Yo, then he's free. He got probation for a year. He got an ankle monitor on. Can't leave his crib. Justice system will handle him. But I'm not really mad at it, even if he did it out of malice, because at the end of the day, like, being black in America is not always fun. And a lot of the time in that situation, whether he did it out of self-defense or not, he would have went to jail. So it's cathartic, like in an OJ way. OJ probably did do that, but
What do you hope to see with this trial? Do you hope to see him walk free or go to jail?
if you ask like a personal opinion, I just want to be home regardless.
You want to be home, even if he did it, you wanted to be home?
Yeah. Honestly, like I said, bro, I see people that look like we get incarcerated for everything. Get incarcerated for things you ain't do. Look at Khalif Browder. Khalif Browder got arrested and I was in New York. Khalif Browder got arrested for beating somebody up, stealing a book bag. And when you take a lot of losses, as a community, you see things like that happen over and over, time and time again. People going to jail for things they didn't do. You don't really care if somebody did it or not. Sometimes you want.
So you don't care if he did it or not?
Me personally, nah. Me personally, I don't care.
That's what they're hoping. That someone who thinks like that, and there are people who think like that. There are people that have had their brains so brainwashed by hip-hop culture, brainwashed by their life experience in the ghetto, in the hood, by this hip-hop culture that feels so victimhood-ridden, that their mindset is, yeah, I want other people to feel as miserable and hate themselves the way that I do, and to be indifferent about life and death and innocent victims.
See, it's funny. It's real funny that this dude grew up. He didn't grow up in the ghettos like me and you did. He grew up in the suburbs. I can tell. Because the moment he just constantly complains and complains and complains. The moment Angry Man complains and complains, the more Anton complains and complains. It's merely, I could just, we can write a whole book on this. The constant bitching and moaning, the constant betrayal. Ladies, do you have an extra pad? Do you have an extra pad that these niggas can borrow? I don't know. Jason, I think Jason needs two. I think he needs extra large or something. I don't know. But I have never seen any of these Negroes whine about things and like, we're racially divided for reasons beyond reasons. Yes, we have a lot of work to do. Yes, we have a lot of things we need to talk about. Yes, we need a lot things that need to be settled, but we're not organized. We're not organized. And until we organize to the point that we actually are coming together for a specific one purpose, one nation, under God, it's just going to continue like this. And I'm sorry to say, it's going to get worse before it gets better. And the brother just told you. The brother just told you, it's like, yes, I take knives to school because I get jumped. Yes, I get jumped. I get this. I get that. I get bullied. I got my nose broken and stuff stolen. Who wants to keep enduring that? Who wants to keep enduring this punishment? Why don't you go tell who? You can tell, you can snitch as many times as you want. We're talking about even if you suspend the person, let's just say you do tell the principal, you do tell the teacher tells the principal, y'all go sit down and this dude gets suspended. Okay, cool. That doesn't stop the guy from doing what he's doing. It doesn't stop anybody. You know how many times I've been bullied? You know how many times I have my bike stolen? I mean, it's crazy. I have my gloves and mittens stuffed down a fucking sword. I never brought a knife to school though. My mother and father wouldn't allow it. My father said, you use these. You use these for your protection. And granted, not everybody can fight. Not everybody knows how to use their hands nice. But that's just a side of life now. That's a side of life. And if it's not under protection, because we don't know how this kid stabbed Metcalf or how he proceeded to do it. We don't know how it was being done. But this is not about that because we went over that a dozen times already. I just can't wait for Thursday. I can't wait for Thursday. It's going to be fun. We're going to have police officers, hopefully, come over and we're going to discuss real shit, real laws, not just some YouTube, no disrespect, but YouTubers and all this other stuff you don't even know your own laws. All you do is Google. People who have been, I'm talking about people who have experience and who are active or retired. Hell, if I can get a retired judge, and I'm not talking Judge Joe Brown because I am so disappointed in him. So damn disappointed. But let me stop ranting.
And so this is all connected. Trust me, it's all connected. Why do we sit on this show and I tell you all constantly about a biblical worldview as it applies to life and when life begins? Because I've tried to explain to you all that this nihilistic mentality, a baby doesn't count until that baby comes out of the womb. And it's like, if you don't have the right worldview as it relates to when life begins, you don't have a biblical worldview, you start developing a nihilistic worldview. Well, I can kill a baby long as the baby's in the womb. That doesn't count. That murder of a child doesn't count. Once you adopt that mindset, you're now on the road to where that young man is. He's indifferent about life and death. Well, I see babies 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 16, 17 years old. Those are babies. They get aborted in these urban areas on a regular basis. And people have become indifferent. It's a rite of passage. Oh, my best friend got shot and killed at 14, 15 years old. Let's put him on a t-shirt and then keep it moving. Maybe I'll get a tattoo of him on my arm and then let's keep it moving. It's no big deal. It's part of life. Gets snuffed out. And oh, yeah, I hope the killer gets off. I'm indifferent. It's kind of cathartic, is what the kid said. They want someone like that on the jury. I want to just, while I'm here, this is why we support preborn. The fearless movement. This is why, this all connects everything. Preborn has our worldview that life begins at conception. And they provide expected mothers with an ultrasound, introduce that baby's heartbeat, a sonogram, an image of that baby. That woman is now twice as likely to choose life. Preborn steps in, supports her and the child for up to 2 years. It's an amazing organization, and it's a worldview changing organization. And all of us have to adopt that mentality. This abortion issue isn't well, I'm against abortion, but I'm not going to do anything to fight it. I'm just going to say I'm against abortion. Now I'm covered. Now I can go out and support anybody else that's pro-abortion because I'm against abortion.
This nigga is babbling. First and foremost, okay. I understand the give, the gab. This is not the issue. I would like for him to explain to me how a young mother of a newborn gets her baby snatched up away from her, damn near her life snatched up away from her. Oh, we can go back a little bit further than that. Remember 1804? How babies are being cut up and snatched up and used as bowling balls. Oh, let's not forget about that type of racism, since racism doesn't exist. Oh yeah, used our babies as bowling balls. Oh, I mean, racism doesn't exist. I mean, I get it. I totally get it. You know, we're living in a different time now. We're living in a different time where computers are such a thing. Such a thing. We ate good. We ate good. We lived good. We lived lavishly. I mean, we had no. This is not a racial divide. These black liberals from the left doing actually racial divide. There shouldn't be no thing about racism anymore. Why can't we just leave it all in the past? Because the past catches up to you. Well, if it were a white kid that was sitting on the bleachers and he sat on the opposite team's tent, which, by the way, there was no assigned seat, and there were two black guys that were aggressive to him. I wonder where we got that from. We got that from the individuals that have treated us like we were animals. We had no other choice because of our minds were being taken away. There was no morals, no respect, no logic back then. None. These crackers, boy. These crackers are cracking me up. They love them biscuits. They love them cheddar biscuits, boy. We ought to go ahead and cook them some cheddar biscuits. Here's another
brothers. They put their hands on him. He told them not to do so. They were trying to get him to move from their seat, and if he did not agree to do that, then, you know, like I said, he said, "Hey, listen, I'm going to go ahead on and show you what's up." They proceeded to do so, and Mr. Metcalf was stabbed to death by Carmelo Anthony. Now, what has happened subsequently is that we've seen almost a racial divide in the country. Now, we have most whites on the side of Austin Metcalf that I can see, although you do have some whites who agree, okay, that basically he has the right to defend himself. However, on the other side, we also have some blacks that feel some sort of way, okay? And it's more than what you think. They want Carmelo Anthony to get life in prison. And I want to play, okay, this pastor by the name of Jordan Wells out of Fort Lauderdale, what he's been saying about Carmelo Anthony.
Black activist judge just released and Carmelo Anthony on a lower bond, which he did not deserve a lower bond. The bond was what it should have been for the type of crime he did. When you commit murder, you have a high.
First, his first offense at $1 million. His first offense.
You've always had a high bail, but because she's black, he's a kid, he's 17, and she's black, and she's an activist judge. She decided that she was going to, what I mean by activist is she put her personal opinion and then just look at the crime. Because if she just looked at the crime and took the race issue out of it, which is my problem with everybody who's talking about this case, is if this was a white on white person, or if this was a white person doing it to a black person, we wouldn't even be having these conversations. It would be a black and white closed door thing. But because race has been injected into this, and this country has become racially toxic, this is what happens. So this activist judge released him on a $250,000 bond. It's ridiculous.
Now, as you know, Carmelo Anthony's family raised over $400,000. All right. Now, they're upset that the judge, Angela Tucker, who's an African-American, lowered the bond from $1 million to $250,000. And in that, Carmelo Anthony raised almost $412,000. But look at what he's saying next.
Apparently, Carmelo Anthony's family, right, are using the $400,000 they raised. And one of the things they're going to buy after they lowered the bond is they're going to buy them a new house because of the threats they're getting. So they have to buy a new house. I don't know when y'all black people are going to ever learn, and you people on the left, especially the black community. George Floyd people did the same thing, but we don't care enough. We're used to abuse. We're used to being used, right? The George Floyd family people did the same thing. The people that...
Nigga, shut up. You just mad because nobody will contribute to your congregation. Nigga, please. You know, the money that they have raised on the GoFundMe is still there. It is actually increased over time. And even if they did spend the money, then so what? It's none of our concern. That they deserve it. But since you black conservatives are so apologetic and want to donate your money to the McCaff family, you automatically are banned from black society. Automatically.
Raise money for George Floyd, BLM, that scam that nobody but the black will talk about, that stole all your money and ran off with it and disappeared. and bought the mansions with it, right? Just we do the same thing. It's called insanity. And now they're going to use that money.
For $450, we're going to buy mansions. For $450. We buy mansions for
to live lavishly.
We're buying mansions for $450. Really? Really? Is that how it's going down? So how much was the Escalade? That Escalade was what? 900,000, right? For the Escalade? What? What? Make it make sense. For $450,000, I can buy me a mansion and an Escalade because I'm threatened that they dox my address and they're threatening my job. Stop. Just stop.
All of the people who raised it for him. It's exactly what black people do. It's exactly what people in our community do, and it's a shame.
Now he's saying that, oh, they're going to use the money to buy a new house. And let me just say this. As you guys know, I vote Republican. I have voted Republican. I supported Donald Trump in 2016, 2020, 2024. But as you guys know, your boy O'Shea is still what? Black. F being a Republican today. All right? I am in the support of this young man. All right? I'm in the support of the young man. Why? Because the young man was not bothering anybody. And we can't get away from that. We can deal with, well, it's illegal for him to have a knife. Okay? He shouldn't have had a knife on the premises. Okay. If you want to say that, well, if he had a knife on the premises and he was just stabbing people for no reason, then you would have an argument. But because people put their hands on him and they was threatening him, he wasn't bothering them. He was minding his business. He was not there to attack anybody. It wasn't no YN type stuff. According to his father, he is a 4.0 student. And from what I understand about Frisco, Texas, which is a suburb of Dallas, blacks are not really liked well that much. Let folks tell it. So we're not even there. And again, I'm not, I don't want to disrespect Mr. Austin Metcalf's family. I'm pretty sure he was a well young man, loved young man by the people who knew him. I get it. But at the end of the day, I hate to see you have these black conservatives. They will do anything to be against blacks. Oh, so the black community decided to raise some money. What are they going to say then? Well, you know what? You can't get these blacks to support no other way. The only way they'll raise some money is to do this. Well, here's what I want to tell you. This is the first time that I have ever seen blacks come to the table and raise some money for something like this. It's the first time. It's the first time. And you know what? I think that it's great, okay? Because every group supports their own people, right or wrong. White people do it. Asians do it. Every community does it. And you want the blacks to call it like it is and then be against each other while every group supports each other. Hell no. No, 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 no. That young man got the right to a trial. His people is supporting him. The judge lowered his bond. Yes, now we're talking about the equality that a lot of the whites got, and y'all don't like to see it, and a lot of blacks don't like to see it. See, a lot of blacks want the whites to have all the advantages, even if it hurts them. Because if it was his son, if it was his daughter, he wouldn't be talking like that. Oh, no, see, it's wrong. No, you will want mercy for your child. You will want your child to have the ability to get off, like any other community's kid would, okay? This young man was not bothering anybody. His intention was not there to start a fight. And that's what you can't get around.
Yep, you want your child to have a fair trial under the law. Since we want to talk about laws, since we want to talk about, a right to a fair trial, a right to a fair jury, because when I went to jury duty, that's what they look at to see if you're fair. And fair is where it's a place where they judge pigs. Nothing is fair. Was it fair to Ahmaud Arbery? Was it fair to Ahmaud Arbery? Was it fair to George Floyd? Was it fair to Sandra Bland? Well, how about the chick that got killed right in the middle of a bedroom when she was butt ass naked? and the FBI came in there, guns blazing, and she got shot full of holes. How was shit fair to her?
If you want to have him with the possession of a knife and charge him with that, okay, let's charge him with that. Sure, he had a knife, he shouldn't have had it. But as far as charging him with murder, he was not, I don't think, that wasn't his intention. And he gave the guy a warning.
You have to prove intent under the law. You have to prove that he premeditated, because there was no premeditation. There was no premeditation. There was no evidence whatsoever that he premeditated to kill anyone. Because if he premeditated to kill anyone, he would have done it on the spot already. He would have literally done it on the spot. He was on a defensive, I ain't gonna even bother to say it. All I want to say is this: a man that is crying, is doing all this, and then cries to one of the officers who detained him, didn't read him his rights, which I still disagree. You should read him his rights on the spot if he's detained. He asked the cop, is he okay? And then in fear that this boy was going to die. He didn't want anybody to die. All he wanted to do was be left alone. But we're going to see what happens in the state of Texas. We're going to see how fair this is. Because in my opinion, he might get manslaughter. That's the most that a person would get is manslaughter. I hope personally myself, again, I hope he gets 10 years probation. And he hope he gets off. But even if he does get off, these parents, the Carmelo Anthony parents will suffer more hatred and more vitriol, more racism that they have ever had suffered before. It's just like you might as well just bring the mob all over again. Like those people before them who were mad that a white woman was being gawked at or being smiled at, because back then you couldn't look at a white woman. But these same Negroes, these same black cracker ass crackers, they love they white people. They thought they's free. And this is why they're saying now that nigga right there is guilty. He don't deserve a right for a fair trial. Just stamp the gong on him and say, that brother is guilty. Give him murder 1. 20 years in prison. 17. Crazy.
Period. And I hate to see other blacks out there trying to give an excuse coming down on blacks so that you can't.
Too late. Too fucking late. Just breaking news. It's just a whirlwind of conservatives out there. You all know this one. You've seen this one before.
Quick, I like where you're going on this because I'm not even trying to race bait or anything. People are making this about black and white. You see that they're trying to make this kind of like a Trayvon Martin kind of, they're talking about it. But where do you?
It is. Trayvon Martin was an angry black kid that had to be sent to his father because he lacked discipline, grew up in a home with his single mother. Any well-behaved kid with manners that had respect of adults, once George Zimmerman approached him, whether he's right or wrong, as a child, this is an adult. You get off the phone with that fat-ass girlfriend you trying to fuck, you call your dad and say, hey, Dad, it's an adult around here to just stop me. He said he's calling the police. Rather than doing that, he had an attitude because as young black males in this country, we have an authority problem because we walking around angry, displaced from our father's issues, but we resent our mothers.
That's true.
So we're a ticking time bomb. And Trayvon Martin could fight. So that's why I say you be careful approaching some of these young kids. What a 13-year-old will kick a 40-year-old's ass.
That's true.
And that's what happened in that situation. He underestimated this kid, and he was looking for trouble. But by law, he was right. And he was judged by his peers. So we can't say nothing once you're judged by your peers.
Well, what do you think's going to happen in this Austin Metcalf thing?
Metcalf had to go. Well, no, that boy going to jail.
Carmelo Anthony's going to go to jail.
Carmelo going to jail. Because listen, you cannot bring a weapon to school.
Yeah.
So you can't say I was
what if he says self-defense?
There's no self-defense, because if you are afraid the day before, well, you have to take a weapon to school, why not notify your parents? Parents, you notify the school teachers. School teachers that's bringing these kids in here and resolve this issue is called conflict resolution. We was taught in homes that has morals and values, you tell the teacher. Somebody fucking with you, you tell the teacher. Let the teachers know, so when y'all have an altercation, you're cleared and you're covered. Documentation beats conversations. The word of documentation to say this is self-defense. It's a premeditated crime because you took a weapon in fear, anticipate to use it.
That was premeditated, though.
And it said a track meet. You getting ready to run track with other kids and you got a knife on you. No, man, you got to go to jail. You got to go. There's no so when is it all right to kill the bully? I don't give a fuck what the bully did. He don't have a right to die.
No.
Man, you weak man. That's why I say teach the kids how to deal with bullies and this won't happen.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to play the next clip. This is hilarious. This is trending. This is worldwide. Look at this.
Hood rat communist decided that I'm going to make this all about the movement rather than anything else.
Yeah, you're right.
I despise that, man. And what I what I hate the most is the fact that this guy, I don't know if y'all have his rap sheet. I know you, yeah, we're going to talk about that. But this dude is a human CVS receipt.
Come on. All 3 feet of it.
This dude is a human CVS receipt with his criminal record. And the fact that this man has the audacity to sit there with this railroad tie in his eye, talking about that man, talking about Mr. Metcalf's splint in his,
right,
is disgusting beyond words. Every single measured argument that I had, like we're trying to be nice about it and everything, that's out the window.
Yeah,
that's out the window. I want to see this family. I want to see all of them get rung up, all of them.
And all I'm going to say, so it don't be asked later, is that was disrespectful and just shows you all the character who is not invited. He knows that it's inappropriate to be near this family, but he did it. And so I say to people, actions speak louder than words. Okay? What he has failed into is the political operatives that want to make this thing a political thing of hate, yet bigotry, and yet racism. We have conservative operatives that have been posting nonstop about this case.
The first thing that came to mind was, my God, not another grifter, not another one. The way that he presents himself, the slime trail behind this man is at least 3 feet deep. It is unfortunate. We don't know why Mr. Metcalf came to this presser. He may have come because, again, he's already forgiven this kid for killing his son. He may have come as an outreach to say, okay, we're both losing our sons. Can we find some common ground? But to say that it's disrespectful for this man to come to this press conference, let's not forget the reason why you're having the presser. Your client, your person killed his son. And he didn't come raising hell. And he did not come with a gun. He did not come and call dirty names. From all accounts, he just came and kind of hung around. He was just there to see what was going to happen. This is not what this man purported it to be. What he's doing is stirring the pot, mostly because it's going to make him somewhat of a celebrity, maybe more infamous than celebrity. But
a celebrity? Really? What are these, some old heads that people don't want to interact with anymore? Oh, this must be Fox. This must be Fox. No. Carmelo's families held a press conference because they were being doxxed and they were being lied to. They were being basically harassed. And they wanted to address it, and they wanted to address it one time. After the guy addressed it, then the mother had addressed it. Metcalf didn't have to be there. Why? What the fuck for? Again, if I would have seen the enemy there, I would have escorted your ass out too.
this is what he's doing. He's going to make money and get a name on this kid's back, and it's a shame.
Again, he has a violent past. About 5 years before he founded Next Generation Action Network, he was arrested.
Oh, wow. So we're doxing the guy that was making the wow. Okay. Negro peons all over the place. Shame on y'all. Shame on each and every single one of you. Shame on you.
Arrested for causing serious bodily injury to his girlfriend's 2-year-old son. He pled guilty to the charge in 2011 and was sentenced to probation. However, he reportedly violated the terms of his probation multiple times, leading the judge to sentence him in 2016 to 5 years in prison. However, he got time spent as part of his sentence, and he only spent about 8 days behind bars. This is according to the Dallas Morning News. In 2017, he was indicted on a felony theft charge related to a 2016 business dispute in Denton County. The charges were enhanced because of a previous conviction for forgery. He pled guilty and was sentenced to 2 days in jail with credit for time served. I mean, he has a pretty long rap sheet. He's got continuous violence against family charges, and that was in 2021.
Dallas County grand jury has indicted a civil rights activist. Dominique Alexander, the founder of the Next Generation Action Network, was indicted today on a charge of continuous violence against the family. That's a third-degree felony. He was arrested back in April after his girlfriend, Kiera Saunders, told police Alexander assaulted her. However, in an affidavit filed before today's indictment, Saunders says she doesn't want any part of the prosecution.
These are the type of lies. She's getting millions of views on this. Sarah, she's even came after me. She's even said all of those things. And now that the public knows exactly what is going on, I ask, because these racist bigots try to prevent us from standing up for our baby, our boy, he should be afforded the same rights that Cal Rittenhouse had, Daniel Penna, and all of the people who have claimed whatever their defense was. He should be afforded the same right. Nobody in the public media has one video camera, but we got the video of Cal Rittenhouse with an AK-47 shooting 3 people in the back. We got that. And he raised more than $2 million publicly, and nobody said anything. So since they tried to come for us,
he does sound a little country.
I call for the community's overwhelming support for this fund. The disinformation that was put out was literally deliberate to prevent you from helping this family. And I want you to give overwhelming support to show them the community united can never can never be divided. And I'm going to say this again, and this is for everybody. Black people in America, while the current occupant sits at 1600 Pennsylvania, Black people in America don't have to pull the race card. It's what we live as a reality every day. It's what we have to teach our children. We don't want to, but we have to. We don't like to, but if we want to sleep at night, we got to.
So basically, the guy's pulling facts, and you want to dox this guy's past because merely basically he wasn't saying the right things that he should have been saying, I'm sorry to the Metcalf family and blah 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 blah, and we should join together in unison. Fuck all that.
I ain't pulling no race card. I live it. I'm reminded all the time that I'm a Black man in America.
What does Trump have to do with this case?
That is a jerk.
Girl, that melanated Marxist got under my skin so bad. Listen, first of all, the colored communist dry snitched on himself the moment he tried to obfuscate this whole situation and start talking about the weather.
Frisco ISD has notified of their intent to expel Carmelo Anthony from school 1 month before his high school graduation. That just shows me that Frisco ISD is trying to push off the blame. And what I have not heard the media say, as many media outlets have asked us what went on, I'm trying to find how many of y'all have asked the superintendent or one single board of trustee, why didn't you cancel or postpone? With weather in that magnitude, you couldn't have a track meet in rain or thunderstorm or clouds. Y'all are the media. Ask your journalists, your weather journalists, how the weather was that day and that time. Y'all do that research. Because as a person who is the administrator of your children, you are responsible for the safety of the children. And so it seems as if Frisco ISD is trying to push this off by making this decision that they do not have to make. So the Next Generation Action Network, outside of the legal process, will be going through different avenues regarding to ensure that we fight for the rights of Carmelo Anthony.
To imply that, did we ever think about the Frisco ISD, why they would allow the track meet to go forward anyway? Did they not check the weather? Nobody this side of heaven was thinking about that. Like, for you to bring up that kind of detail tells me everything I need to know about you. You are not accepting accountability. You are trying to wiggle and figure out anything that you can to wiggle your way out of the fact that Carmelo Anthony stabbed someone and killed him. We can have a conversation about was he provoked? Did he feel threatened? Was his life in danger? We can have a conversation about that. But when you bring up an insignificant detail as to the weather that day, and then to implicate the school system and say this their fault, them right there have the nerve to have a track meet on a day like that with the weather that way. It tells me everything.
Y'all some ghetto ass hunky bunkies. I take a backseat to Black Cracker Bill. This is utterly ridiculous. And even though I will agree that, I mean, weather had little to nothing to do with anything, I don't know what that was all about. But for the simple fact that the man was just sitting there, did nothing wrong, minded his own damn business. And we all know what happened from that point on. You said the selective outrage is fucked up. But ask yourself this question again. I'm sitting there and I'm minding my own affair, and there's alleged word out on the street per se that these two or these three knew each other before, but we won't know, will we, until trial. We will not know who knew who or what, or who did what to who before, first, second, or third. It doesn't matter. What matters is this boy is detained, or he's at home. He's at home on house arrest. He's not a flight risk, and the bond was ridiculous from the get-go. $1 million bond. You would be that prejudice and tack on a $1 million bond, which you know black people cannot pay in the state of Texas.
Everything I need to know about this grifter. Secondly, when he brought up Trump, I was like, there it is right there.
Mhm.
He is trying to play on the emotional sensibilities of so many Black Americans in this country who can't think in proper categories. All you have to do is bring up the orange man, and the Trump derangement just escalates. It escalates to the next level to where they can't think, and then to say, you know, what it feels like to be a Black man in America because you got to live it every day. I'm like, there goes the victim card again. So I'm like, so you're essentially, I feel bad for Carmelo because these are the adults in his life that are crippling this boy, that if they thought this way before this incident, it's no wonder why he's like, well, I was claiming self-defense. He has been trained all his life to look out there as what's out there is the reason and the proximate cause for everything that has happened to him. These are the adults who are shepherding him and training him with this victim mindset. And this is how I know.
What the fuck are you talking about? He just trained, he's out there. They trained this man to what? What the hell are you talking about? Are you putting blinders on to the world? Ain't nobody trained this boy to do nothing. He was at a fucking track meet. He was just sitting there minding his own fucking business on his fucking cell phone. Bitch, what is you talking about? See, y'all bug me with this shit. Cracker ass cracker moment. This is wow. This is, yeah, get your bread. Get your bread. Who the hell is talking to these people? This is the first time ever. Who the hell talks to these people? The moment that he said something about Trump, you must love the hell out of the orange man, don't you? Oh, you're from the way right, and I can tell by the shit in the background there. The flag in the back. I have that same flag. My grandfather was in the U.S. Army. I have that same flag too. But that doesn't mean I parade it all over the place as American has opportunities. Shit. I agree with April Chapman 100%, but hey, get paid if you can, right? I blame Moraine. Stop it, then. Stop it.
Oh, that this minister guy, he is not of Christ, because all I heard from him was victimhood, a failure to accept accountability, and then he personalized it. You know, our baby and our boy. You know, they have to personalize it that way and pull out the little baby violin so that all the Black folks listening to this.
Oh, so this is where I know you from. You're that thing, yes, I said thing, that you criticize Umar for saying something about the Black church. Now I know where you're from. Now I know you. This is just like a foxhole moment. This is just too deep for me. Too deep. Listen, first and foremost, please take the conservative dick out your mouth and do me one favor. Don't look to the right, look to the left, look straight ahead, and be an independent for once. What would you do in this situation when your son was doing absolutely nothing but was on a track event, minding his own goddamn business, but soon was attacked by either one or one, few, three, or whatever white boys, big ass white boys? And it's possible that you have been attacked before. And if you weren't paying attention, there have been many boys that have been attacked in school. Why do you think they bring knives to school? This is insane. What did you say, Trish? Well, I don't know what you're thinking about that early show. Listen, the show from earlier with Simulac, whatever his name is, that to me that was just straight garbage. I don't want to get into too many details. I mean, they had too many conservatives up on there, and I was just ready to blow a gasket, but I'll just let them get their little bubblegum moment, because I dare not even comment on that live stream, on that situation, because it was garbage. Straight garbage. First, you got an angry dude. You got one angry person up there, and you got an elderly man trying to tell you for what it is, and because he said a certain thing and you didn't get the premise of what he was trying to say, you're gonna blow a fucking gasket. Well, angry man had to calm your ass down. You went and took a little smoke break, and then I don't even want to mention the other person because it's gonna really set me off something. So I'll just leave it at this. It was garbage. Sharon played it right. He was being cool, calm, and collective. I can't believe I'm saying this, but other than that, I can't say anything for anybody else. But the rest of that, it was just garbage. I'll just say that it was garbage.
Can turn off their brains and not think deeply and intently about what this man is actually saying. They hurt this case more than anything else. They have hurt their own case.
This dude is a hood rat communist.
Facts.
Okay. Hood rat communist. You can put that.
Hood rat communist. So, hood rat communist, you say? Oh, well, we wave. So if we're not talking like this, and with Trish, would you mind a little cup of tea for the conservatives? Sure. So just find a little sip a little cup of tea, and then we bow like this, and we kiss the hand like that, and we wear Prince outfits, and oh dear, I say you have a little boo-boo on your face. It's like, let me wipe it off there for you. Yeah, there you go. You need some more tea. Let me get my service. Hey, nigger, excuse me, Leonard, could you go ahead and fetch me some cup of tea for the birdie? Go ahead. You're getting on my nerves. He's dark. We're going to have a show later on. We're going to have a show that there's this lady, this slave we picked up on the boat. You know, some lady we picked up off the boat. I think her name is Sarah Bartman. For those who don't know who Sarah Bartman was, just go ahead and look her up. Yeah, we're gonna dissect her, and we're gonna experiment on her. She has a real big, giant butt. And it's like, where did these dark people get this big, giant butt? It's a real big butt. Is it a real butt? We must experiment on this big, giant butt. No, we're not supposed to be talking like that. We're supposed to be talking like this. You know, back in my day, we used to go ahead and we farmed back in there in the 1976. But well, I think it was 1918 when back in the farm days where we used to milk the cows and we used to hang the niggers out. We used to hang the conservatives out there, and God dang it, they're not conservatives, they're liberals. We used to hang the liberals out there because those liberals, they didn't know no better. We had to teach them a little lesson out there, and God dang it, the conservatives, they were real good to us, and just like the Django, who's that Django buddy? Like, I love you. I love you just as well as I love the goddamn shoe on your foot. Let me go ahead and let me lick that shoe off real clean, real slick. No, I love you like I love the niggers out there. I love you like, let me tell you something, boy. Massa been good to us. You don't ruin that Massa been good. Shit caught on fire. Oh my shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. The roof's on fire. Oh my god, the Massa. Our roof on fire? The roof on fire? Oh my god. We must get out of here. We gotta get out of here. Oh, we're supposed to talk like this. Yeah. My name's John. How are you? Yeah, I'm Matthew. How you doing? Matthew, where are you from? I'm from Detroit. Where are you from, John? Oh, I'm from Alabama. Yeah, my Alabama where, all that stuff happens out there. It's like, what are you doing in Detroit, Matthew? Oh, hey, I just work with just people that just hate their selves. They just every time I try to talk to them, it's just they just call me a coon or something like that. It's like I'm just trying to tell them the truth, that you're not supposed to hate white people. We're supposed to just get along to get along. You know what I'm saying? Supposed to get along to get along. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm going off to Harvard, we're going to Harvard. And I'm telling you, I am going to get that, what job was, hey, Jeff Rowe, what job was I going to, what was I going to school for? Oh, architect. I was going to be a architect, and these guys said I was too smart for my britches. Why don't I just get a regular 9 to 5? It's like, why, dude? Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Matthew. If you come over here this way, we're gonna have some popcorn and some good old whiskey, and we're gonna head over to my girlfriend's place. She'll hook you up with a girlfriend of your own. Is she white? Sure, she's white. I've never dated a white person before. Oh my God, I mean, what do I do? I'm so tickling. I'm tickling in my shoes. Oh my God. I feel so excited. Are they shooting out there? I hope not. I feel so excited. Like, oh my gosh, silly me. And you meet her. All of us. Oh, hi, my name's Matthew. Hi, I'm Heather. Would you like something to drink? Sure, I'd like some lemonade if you have it. All right. Sure, thank you. All right, you go hook her up with some lemonade, and she fix you a mayonnaise sandwich, and the next thing you know, it's like, oh my God, it's like I never had some white punani before. I was like, is it like the black people? is it like black coochie? I'm sorry, black coochie. I'm sorry, it's vagina. I'm sorry, I never had white vagina before. It's like, you never had white vagina before? It's elastic, it stretches out. I even like getting fucked in the ass. Oh, y'all ass is too tight. Where's Dr. Khalil Muhammad when you need him? There ain't no Dr. Khalil Muhammad's anymore. Set these goofballs straight. Jesus.
Put that in the
before we restart this, I gotta go ahead and I got to play this song for my wonderful partner in crime, Helen, who sent in the Cash App. Thank you so much, Princess.
That's ISO. Rack it up, I gotta build up the bank to make me a safe house. Shake it up, she got her hands on her knees and she bringing the cake out. Smoke it up, I got some gas, some packs, I'm up in the greenhouse. Ball it up, I'm with the gang, we taking shots off the rebound. Fucking my post to say now, I've been humble too long, yeah. Tell them all to stay calm, yeah. Tell them all to move on, yeah. Fucking my post to say now, they be lost in the sauce, yeah. Took a loss, that's your loss, yeah. Had to get my point across, yeah. Heard them lanes was talking now, and we don't pay that no mind. Didn't need to watch and know that I'll be.
Thank you so much, Ellen, for the Cash App. Thank you so much, my love. And if anyone else like to support the channel, please do so with kind and in gladness, like the pastors and the preachers like to put out there. But you support the pastors and the preachers like Joe Osteen has this big old congregation. Yes.
Lexicon right now. Anybody who comes out and it says Daniel Pender when he's referring to Daniel Penny, okay, no, that's a hood rat communist. Anybody who is still believing that in 2025 that Kyle Rittenhouse took the lives of black people when the 3 men that he shot in self-defense were all white.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
2 of them were abusive monsters, and 1 of them was a PDF file.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so honestly, Kyle, you Rittenhouse, sue this dude. Okay,
Absolutely.
sue him. Anyway, secondly, if that dude was really out there trying to dirty the jury pool, he didn't do a good job of it.
Mm-mm.
If anything, this guy really made helped the case against him and his client. If this dude is Carmelo with a K's lawyer, switch him out right now.
Yeah.
Switch him out right now, because again, and the last thing that I'm gonna say, the last thing that I'm gonna bring out. I hate that black folk have been reduced to this.
That part.
And listen, and here's what I mean.
Reduced to what? Where we been reduced to?
I hate that black people have been reduced by leftism to be this blob, this hyper-emotional, like this loyal, over-emotional, unthinking, self-indulgent blob of the socio-political blob that needs to be shepherded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't stand that. And honestly, whenever you hear all of these different appeals, the weather is racist, Daniel Pendleton killed the Jordan, a black Michael Jackson impersonator. Okay, giving Uncle Ruckus vibes this whole the whole way through.
You got the nerve to talk about Uncle Ruckus
of this whole thing where black folk are never allowed. People like this hold down the rest of us.
It does.
Okay, and if I may, I'm going to quote John Ridley from 2006, where he said, that which retards us is the worst of us.
Ooh.
Those who disdain actual ascendancy gained by way of intellectual expansion and physical toil, who instead value the posture of an urban, a street, a real existence, no matter that such a culture threatens to render them extinct. That man right there is the epitome of that paragraph. And I'm telling you, this is going to if this sets back the civil rights era, what can we say?
Man, the butter biscuits is getting warmer and warmer and warmer. Golly. Oh, a tangle web we weave. God darn it. They're taking away from the left. They're taking a back seat from the leftists. And we hate Donald Trump. Even though we voted for him. What is going on? I'm gonna play the rest of this because this is just too funny.
Believe that you have a right to take our lives, but we don't have to take yours in self-defense. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm gonna tell you what I don't like. That brother getting death threats, his family getting death threats. That's not right. Caucasian nation, when y'all unalive one of us, y'all tell us to be quiet, sit still, and let justice run its course. That's what y'all tell us. Y'all told us that with Sonia Bland. Y'all told us that with Michael Brown. Y'all told us that with Sonia Massey. Y'all told us that with Amir Locke. Y'all told us that with Amar Arbery. Y'all told us that with Philando Castile. Y'all said, sit still, Negro Nation. Sit still, Africans, and let justice run its course. So I need somebody from Neanderthal Nation before I get into Dootsy's kitchen, because I'm hungry. Big Papa is a little hungry, but I need some.
Wait, what? Angry man's own son got arrested for a crime. He's got arrested for a crime. He is a hooligan. He is a hooligan. An angry man has banished a weapon several times on YouTube. I've seen it. I've seen it one time when he flashed it towards what was it? It was Big J. It was Big J that day that he flashed. I know, I was there. Several times on YouTube. He is a hooligan. All ninjas and hypocrites, including Cellulite and Michael Mick, doesn't exist. All right. So, Simulac, I don't take serious. Simulac, he's probably flip-flopping over there because he's probably trying to find someplace to belong to. But good luck with that. Religion and capitalists are a monolith. True that. True that. Let's continue.
Somebody to explain to me. I need somebody to explain to me why black people have to wait on justice to run its course when we get by Caucasians. But when one of us is, but when a Caucasian is unalived by us, it's okay for y'all to threaten us. It's okay for y'all to send death threats, racist language, racist mail, campaign slander, disrespect of every kind. Why is it okay for y'all to mistreat black people before justice has run its course in the courtroom? It's okay for y'all to do it, to mistreat us before we have had our day in court. But when y'all unalive one of us, we supposed to wait until the court makes a decision. I know what this is about. This is about y'all thinking your lives are more valuable than ours. We know what it's about. Every African in America knows what this is about. You believe that your pale life is more important than my melanated life. You believe your Neanderthal DNA is more precious than my original ancient African DNA. We know what this is about. But let me say this. And if you need to reach me, you can text me 215-989-9858. If you need to reach me, you can text me 215-989-9855. To every Negro apologizing to Caucasian Nation and publicly convicting our brother Carmelo Anthony in the court of public opinion before he has had his day in court, shame on you Negroes. Shame on every Negro pen. Shame on every black who's on the internet apologizing to the Caucasian Nation, condemning our brother to guilt before he's had his day in court because you love your slave master. Shame on you Negroes. I'm so sick and tired of seeing black people get on the internet and say, I'm sorry, Caucasian Nation. I'm sorry, Caucasian Nation. He was wrong. How do you know he was wrong? You wasn't there. You didn't stand in defense of none of our slain when the police took their lives. You didn't speak up for Trayvon. You didn't speak up for Sonia Massey. You didn't speak up for Sonia Bland or Amir Locke or Dante or Philando Castile or Freddie Gray. You didn't speak up for Breonna Taylor, but you're going to get on the internet and speak up for Caucasian Nation? We don't have a history of taking their lives. They have a history of taking our lives, and you Negroes got the audacity. You Negroes got the audacity to get on the internet, get on your hands and knees and lick the spittle of your oppressor. You got the nerve to get on the internet and get on your hands and knees and lick the spittle of your, or lick their shoes, lick the soles of their shoes. We so sorry. He was wrong. So much love for your oppressor, none for your own family. That's why we're going to have a civil war amongst ourselves before we can have any other type of war. There can be no revolution in African society until we first identify and isolate. The democracy is out of control. The democracy is out of control. The democracy is out of control. Brothers and sisters, I got to get in here.
Tell us something that we don't know, bro. Tell us something that we don't know. I mean, what I heard today was quite interesting. This is, we want to get on the side. What they say, we want to get on the side of right. No, you want to get on the side of white. I mean, it goes without saying. I mean, I could play this. I could play this till the cows come home. It really wouldn't make a difference because people get angry sometimes. People just give up. People give up for obvious reasons. Now, I think I've played this. I think I played this once before. I don't know why. I don't know why was this probably. Wait a minute. I think I played this thing once before. Let me see. Fair use.
You are now tuned into
The realest show on YouTube with your host, The Angry Man.
I said it's all fun and games until I want to play too. So, care about nothing else. That's why you running around here making up every excuse in the book. They didn't know each other before that. Those twins were bullies. They tried to jump him. That wasn't a knife that he had. It was a cleat sharpener. All this bullshit that at the end of the day don't add up to nothing. It don't add up to shit. I'm going to tell you why it don't add up to nothing. It don't add up to nothing because of a couple of things. Number one, in any stand your ground state, the only way you can claim self-defense in an instance where there is loss of life is if you are equally matched.
Bullshit.
In other words, if I have a weapon and you don't have a weapon and I take your life, I can't claim self-defense.
Bullshit. Everybody put bullshit in the chat. Just put bullshit. Put an exclamation point on the S or on the I. Whatever. YouTube purposes. Bullshit. My dick.
Now, if Austin would have picked up a brick or a pole or some sort of weapon and then tried to hit Carmelo and Carmelo stabbed him and took his life, self-defense. I would say that self-defense all day long, 7 days a week and twice on Sunday. But that's not what happened. That's not what happened. It don't matter if he was going to that tent to see his friends. It don't matter if they were bullying him. It don't even matter if they tried to jump him.
It didn't matter if they tried to jump him.
Not in a court of law.
Wow.
Not in a court of law.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Doesn't matter.
Hey. Cool. Kundalini.
To litigate.
Thank you, honey. Thank you.
And I already see it. Look, hey, be no nation, be no empire. You know what's gonna happen? You know what's gonna happen? You're gonna have a whole bunch of Negroes calling me a coon and a sellout and all of that shit.
Oh no!
You know, just the same way back in the day, if a white person took a black person's side, the racist white people would call that white guy a race traitor.
Oh, this escapism. Oh, the escapism is just surreal. No, Helen. We got to do better than that, Helen. We have to do better than that. Now, I taught you better now. I taught you way better than that. I'll do this one time, but you got to do better now. Here it goes. Ready? Sorry about that. I should have put a face on it.
Raider. These niggas are literally mimicking the behavior of racist white people. And in their mind, they're justified in doing it. So my question is, if you're justified in your racism, bigotry, and prejudice right now, how wasn't the white people back in the day justified? The shit is either wrong or it ain't. It don't become right because you doing it, and wrong when they did it. And I know you niggas don't want to hear this shit because it's logic. I know you don't want to hear this shit, but it's the damn truth. You can't spend all these years marching and claiming that you're better people than the racist white people, only to mimic the racist white people once you get in the position to. See, now that you got a black female judge sitting up there, she can reduce the bond from $1 million to $250,000 the same way back in the day they had a white judge reduce the bond for a white person. You're doing the same shit.
So you're comparing apples to oranges. Oh, okay. Okay. I mean, $1 million, that's a bit steep. There was no $1 million bond back then, goofy. There was no you either served or you didn't serve. If you end up serving, one way or another, you got hung. Have you ever noticed? Have you ever noticed that? Oh yeah, thank you for reminding me. Oh, guess what? Did that white judge get death threats? Did she get her address doxxed? Oh no. Oh. Did she have a threat on her life just like when the parents had a threat on their lives? But the Metcalf family, they had SWAT. Fight fire with fire, right? Yeah, I heard that the Metcalf family allegedly had SWAT over their house because someone called and said something about a gun or something like that. You fighting for these white people hard, aren't you? Oh yeah, sidebar. Jey Uso is now world champion. Yeet. Now back to the show. It's quite apropos to want to bring up, and I know you pander to your audience a lot. You pander to the men a lot because this half of a Negro often says that we're raised by single women, and because we're raised by single women, we don't know how to confront things head on or take sole responsibility as men. Show me a man, Negro, white boy. Show me a man. Y'all was doing all that back and forth and disrespecting an elderly. Are we kidding? We're just going to go back and forth. You and Simulac, whatever the hell his name is, you going to back and forth and yelling at him cold-heartedly at Jay Speed. I think he's on my neck of the woods. Me and Jay Speed, we need to meet once I come back to Lansing, because I think he's 64 years of age. I was like, we don't even respect our elders anymore. We're supposed to shake this white man's hand and say, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I am so surprised. I am so surprised that you, angry man, and everybody else didn't look in the camera and say, "I apologize, Metcalf family, Jeff Metcalf, the one that's not married to his wife. They're divorced. But Carmelo's family is married." Don't we often talk about marriages and single motherhood, but yet the Metcalf family, they're divorced? Quite interesting.
You're doing the same thing.
Damn, you got it.
Y'all gonna say,
you got all the information.
Why not do the same thing? They did it to us. Okay.
Damn, you got all the information. You got all the goodies on Angry Man, don't you?
But own that shit. Stop pretending like you're taking the moral high road, because you're not. Stop pretending that you're better
Yes, I did.
than racist white people, because you're not. You're not. You're only crying victim because you were in the victim position. You didn't give a damn about justice. Because once you're no longer in the victim position, now you want to operate the same way the oppressor operated.
All this for a click in the view. Shame.
And I know you niggas gonna get mad at me for pointing out the obvious and call me a coon and all of that shit. We get it.
If we agree with you, then we're black. We love black people. If we find ourselves in opposition to what you say, all of a sudden we hate ourselves and we hate black people. Who died and left you that kind of authority with your opinion? Oh, tell me.
See, contrary to popular belief, I don't gotta agree with you niggas to continue being black.
Lie.
Contrary to popular belief, I don't gotta agree with you niggas to continue being black.
Lie. Another lie. Go ahead and lie some more. Go ahead and lie some more.
Now, there's gonna be a bunch of you Negroes that's gonna run up here, and the first thing that's gonna come out of your mouth is you gonna say, matter of fact, let me show you. I'm gonna show you the what you call it I came across, right? Let me find it. Let me show you the video I came across on TikTok.
Oh Lord. Jesus. Oh.
The twins are not. He wasn't even expecting to see them there. Now, here's what they don't want you to know. The twins didn't just ask him to leave, they tried to jump him. Before attacking him, they tried to take his belongings, broke his phone, and stomped on it. The twins are known bullies. So ask yourself, if two 200+ pound attackers came at your child, what would you expect them to do? So let's start right here. First of all, this niglet that posted this still didn't give any justification as to why someone should take another person's life.
Yes, he did.
In high school, I was always a kid around $150. You know how many times I fought dudes bigger than me? So this idea that, you know, Carmelo was so small and the twins was just these towering mountains, that don't mean shit. You know how many big ass dudes get their ass kicked every damn.
That's a what would you call that? An excuse. It's more than an excuse. Let me read these comments. Black people have supported his lifestyle for over a decade, and he is turned around and shit on the people that took care of. Ooh. He got some shit on Angry Man. I can tell. He got some shit on Angry Man. I guess this is the same Angry Man who tried to be Kevin Samuels. Oh. My bad. I wasn't supposed to say that. Was I supposed to say that? Was I supposed to say that Angry Man tried to be something that he wasn't? Was I supposed to say that? My bad, y'all. This is silly. My brother is not a fighter. I am. I love it. Yeah, he can't fight. All he gonna do, he can't bust a grape in a fruit fight. Just like when he pulled out that gun and you know, Jay puts it, you know, Big J, he puts it upon himself. All he does is scream and shout at people. Like he screamed and shouted at me that one day. But I would never put out a gun on him. I would never do that. No, I would never do that. Now, if there was a choice that had to be made, then that would be my last resort. But I'll probably just slap him a couple of times and go home and watch Netflix because, you know, I had to watch the last episode of Daredevil. Sidebar. Daredevil, if you haven't watched it yet, it's quite brutal. Especially the last episode. That was ouch. They are really trying to up the ante this year, boy. I can't wait till The Punisher comes out. Jesus. But anyway, back to this crazy shit. Coonery, man, a lot of milking white cows on the farm.
All I see in this message is a Negro behaving like a white supremacist. That's all I see.
Wait.
He's a kid around $150. You know how many times I fought dudes bigger than me?
Let's go back.
Did not hear any of these facts on the news. Share this so real justice is served. The truth about Carmelo.
And mind you, this is a black woman. And you know he doesn't like black women all that much.
Let's set the record straight. Enough with the misinformation. Let's talk about facts. Number one, it's normal for students from different schools to gather under another school's tent. Carmelo had friends there. He wasn't trespassing or looking for trouble. Number two, the claim that one of the twins had never seen Carmelo before, a blatant lie. Number three, no student has the right to remove another student from a school-owned tent. The school owns the tent, not the twins. Number four, Carmelo is a track athlete. The twins are not. He wasn't even expecting to see them there. Now, here's what they don't want you to know. The twins didn't just ask him to leave, they tried to jump him. Before attacking him, they tried to take his belongings, broke his phone, and stomped on it. The twins are known bullies. So ask yourself, if two 200+ pound attackers came at your child, what would you expect them to do? So let's start right here. First of all, this niglet that posted this still didn't give any justification as to why someone should take another person's life.
Bullshit. Obviously, you weren't even paying attention. This is a win. This is a full-blown win. Now, but before I get into my rant, I just gotta say, thank you for the support. Thank you for the support. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Please become a member of the We-On-Loc Nation channel and hit the like button. Hit the like button. Now, there's a request. Helen, I have to go ahead and put in your request because this was a disappointment. Although let me take this down. This was a damn disappointment all around. All around. This was a disappointment. God dang Judge Joe Brown. I love black folks too. Love them, hate them. Yes, I'm never going to hop that fence. How can any black person still support this ninja? He's been playing in y'all's faces for years. It just, what do you think that the hierarchies do? What do you think the high and mighty do? I mean, Fatty knows how to play the game. Angry Man knows how to play the game. Anti knows how to play the game. Some try to do it, they ended up failing. I do this as a hobby. I don't give a fuck. I do this as a hobby. Anything that makes sense, I'm gonna critique it. I'm gonna try to critique it. You know what I'm saying? He didn't identify. Of course, he didn't identify as black. But he's gonna still claim that, even though he hasn't claimed that in years. What? Just because he read a couple of books, allegedly, he watched a couple of movies. It makes him more blacker than me. Oh, really? I got books for days, son. I got books for days. You call Marcus Garvey, just like you call Umar Johnson a panderer, you call Marcus Garvey a coon. That don't make no damn sense. I had to get on Angry Man about the whole Umar situation. He's always pandering to men, or he's pandering to women. He's always pandering to women. He never talks about the men, how the men are suffering. And he's suffering because you can't get no pussy. Knock it off. The only reason why you say that is because he's around black queens and you're not. And I'm just not talking about, I'm talking about any and everybody who thinks this way. That's why you got a circle of panels who think the same thing, but I'm just now learning on certain areas of the spectrum, they don't even think that way. It's non-existent almost. I mean, they have a couple of issues, but it ain't got to be like, would you give all your stuff up to be on my program? They say, see, you're ain't nothing but a whore. You're making money being an architect. You're being money working for the government and all that other stuff. You're making $40 an hour. You're making $165,000 a year, and I only make 44. Please get on my program, please. Michelle Obama got on Barack Obama's program. That's because Barack Obama, to be quite frank with you, Barack Obama and Michelle Obama worked for the same company down there almost. Although he ran for senator, but he ended up getting his ass whooped by Bobby Rush. What are we talking about here? Ain't nobody getting anyway. I gave up. Hey, let me ask you a question. Legacy. Let me ask you a question. Anytime you said something and you were on Angry Man show, his snipers got at you, didn't they? Didn't they? I know they did. I know they did. If you said something and he will stop the entire show just to go, did you say that about me? Did you say that about me? And his what do you call snipers in the chat? It ain't nothing but a bunch of followers or whatever. His snipers in the chat, they got to you, didn't they? Yeah, later when he blew up. Oh, okay. So he was a bit of an asshole. Okay. All right. Okay. So he tried to take on the Kevin Samuels role. Okay. She's no better than Saint. He's no different from Saint. Saint was talking all this nonsense about Kevin Samuels. But in Vegas, we call him in Vegas going like this. And Kevin Samuels was like this. This is a fucking joke. But I gotta put this on real quick, and we gonna hop up out of here. I appreciate everybody, but I gotta play. I gotta play this. I have to.
He's a shyster of Texas.
I don't know, but
Chicken George. Chicken George Al.
Right. But Dominique Alexandra is, not representing the family legally, but as you could might as well say, a spokesperson for the family. So he held this press conference. I want to play 2 minutes of this, and then I want to play Carmelo Anthony's mother speaking about, the situation as well.
No matter our opinion of it, we have kept our opinion.
That's right. So he opened up this press conference saying that it was disrespectful, and I don't know why he opened up the press conference saying that. I don't know why Austin Metcalf's father, Mr. Metcalf, was there. Maybe it wasn't to be disruptive. You're talking about
again. What is the difference between what the dead boy's father did and what the defendant himself did? What's the difference in terms of initiating the problem? It was open to the public, just like the athletic field was. It was another family. It was another team. There was no invitation, an intent not to cause trouble, but discussed with him being there. So I guess they just talked about it, which shows what their son should have done instead of knifing somebody, even if they laid hands on him.
She's a follower. She can't do it on her own, so this is what she does. Hell, I don't blame her.
See, that's the whole thing. Laid hands on. See, that's part of this thing. They better not touch my child. When I grew up, we are a better generation in terms of our behaviors, our courage and stamina.
Now, see, he likes to, critique what happened to this, generations past. I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine, but don't be mad, don't be surprised if somebody does the exact same thing to you.
And initiative because, boy, come in here. Mr. Miller, I didn't do anything. Yes, you did, boy. I can see it in your eyes. What you do? All right, tell you what. Put your hands on your knees. Look at that wall. Don't you eyeball me. You get one. Wham! All right, now get out of here and get it off your mind. Don't even think about it. And he was dead right, because you'd go run away. Hey, man, did you tell Mr. Miller? No, I didn't say anything. Well, how did he know? Because he's been a boy himself. And he remembered. So he can tell by the look on your face. But we knew to be straight. We knew that if you got out of line, something was going to happen to you. And even when some of the students got out of line, we said, oh, man, wow.
Well, here's the thing.
How terrified would come into school. It was like, oh, man, wow, this is rough.
Well, here's the thing, because, Dominique Alexander, he called the Dallas police to escort the father off the premises of the press conference. So this is where we see here, they walked him out. I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't even mention that he was there.
It's a press conference. It's a track meet.
So again, to your point, Judge, because it was a video that I uploaded when you were talking about that Carmelo Anthony was trespassing. Well, would you say that the father here was trespassing with this press conference?
Maybe. Was it by invitation only? Was the premises rented out? But I'm not talking about whether it was in fact a trespass. I'm talking about it was being treated by one party as a trespass. So, in other words, the family had no more right to call the police to escort this man out than their son had the right to say, I'm going to intrude in. So if the father gets on the stand during the trial, good defense would say, hey, not a good defense, but a good prosecutor would say, hey, didn't you call the police to have the father of the victim removed? Yeah, well, why? So if you could do it, couldn't the twins have done that too? So in other words, the only thing is that the twins didn't call the police.
Well,
again, comparing apples to fucking oranges. We're talking about an adult coming to a press conference where the parents of Carmelo Anthony were being threatened versus two high school kids harassing another high school kid. What this is just a disappointing thing. I guess he's pretty much given up too. He might as well join the Supreme Court justice. Oh no, because we already got another Coon. We already got another Coon, Clarence Thomas. We don't, and some other woman. We don't need it. We do not need it.
Do it themselves. The difference is, and the defense could come back and say that Mr. Dominique Alexander called the authorities. He did not try to physically remove Mr. McCaff.
Remember, when this country was founded, there was no such animal as police. That wasn't invented until about 60 years later.
The prosecutor, that would be a horrible rebuttal.
No, it's not a horrible rebuttal.
It is. I'm talking about in the courtroom. If they were to bring this up, if the prosecutors were to bring this incident up, the defense can also rebuttal back saying, let me just say this. The difference between the two is that one person called the authorities to remove somebody. The other two people, whether it was both brothers or one brother, took it upon themselves to be the authority.
That's not the point. The point is
that's illegal.
The prosecution wouldn't set this up by introducing evidence of what he did.
Of
It's
course
if
not.
if the father takes the stand, not the dead boy's father, the father of the defendant takes the stand to explain what's going on. If they were to put on character proof, an astute prosecutor would say, do you recall events on such and such date, which is the day this occurred? And do you recall the father of your son's victim showing up?
But the father
Yes.
didn't call the
Now,
cops.
wait a minute. And
Wait, no, just for clarity, real quick.
I'm just saying, this is how it works.
But the father has nothing to do with this. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it does. If the father of the defendant testifies, which he might if they're foolish enough to get into character, all this stuff about captain of the teams and going to college with the grade point average. I mean, if the father got up and did this, the prosecution would say, well, sir, you remember these days, the events of such and such date? Did you or did you not call the police to have the father of the deceased victim removed? Is that no different than what the deceased son was doing to your child? In other words, hey, you got to leave. You don't see the difference? You see a difference? You do or don't?
But Judge, you just said you had the
It's cross-examination.
Oh, Judge, what I'm saying to you for clarity, the father did not have Mr. McCaff removed.
The police came.
The father did not call the police.
Who called the police?
It was Dominique Alexander, the guy who held the.
See, but anyway, fine. I get your point. But see, this, by the way, is just an example. Were you present when this conference came about, or this press conference? Or see, this becomes an example.
Bottom line, he was not supposed to be there. And then you got Angry Man and others pussyfooting and pussy popping for white folks, saying that he had every right to be there, just like Carmelo Anthony had every right to be at the track. It's just so blend. It's so blend. So you have to realize that these yahoos are they're here to stay, and they're here to receive each and every single butter biscuit that there is. That's all they're doing. It's just butter biscuits. And they want to try so hard to be patted on the head and say, good boy for pointing them out, just like the Indians did, just like, you know, certain Africans did. We can't forget about certain Africans that turned us, you know, ended up turning other Africans, and you gotta take the good and the bad with everything. You gotta take the good and the bad with everything. But here in the United States of America, the only way you can get by smoother, the only way you can get money, the only way you're going to get results is you get along with the people that have been oppressing you mentally, not just physically, but mentally. It's a mental race. It's a hamp race. You know how the hamster runs on the wheel? How he constantly keeps running on the wheel? That's what this is. This is a rat race. This is a fucking rat race. And all you're doing is just causing your own demise. That's all you're doing that's all you're doing. You're just doing it for money. You're just doing it for money, a click and a view. If this thing don't trend, then I got to do something else. If it's not Umar, if it's not about black women, it's about something that's trending, and we got to milk this for what it really is. And The black people don't like me anyway, so I might as well just go ahead and coon my way out. And yo shit, boom, ended up getting 100 people in the chat. I gotta tell you, I'm fine. Last time I milked it for what it was worth, and I got 50. I'm not begging for people. I'm not begging. I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying you being here with me. So we can look at this and we can just start laughing. Some of these Negroes take this stuff serious. I've learned from other people. I've learned from Trish. I've learned from the best. Yeah, I gotta go too, sweetheart. But once again, thank you for everything. Thank you for the support, and thank you for the cash app. Thank you. See, Helen didn't have to give me a $10 cash app. She didn't have to do that. But she did it out the kindness of her heart. I don't beg, just like most of these Negroes do. Most of these Negroes, if you put on a super chat and if money is not attached to that super chat, at least $20, it will not get read. That's what most of these Negroes do. My bad, 25. 25. Sorry about that. But she didn't have to do that. She did not have to do that. It's called a blessing. I take my blessings as a humble reality that people don't have to support you. Just be humble. You take it as a means to try to manipulate people into doing that. It's as simple as that, yo. It's as simple as that. I'm just gonna say this and I gotta get out of here. I'm not in a humbling business. I'm not in the business to making money. It's like a friend of mine told me a long time ago, if you're trying to do YouTube content, it's bad business. It is bad business. They already take 30% of your earnings. And you got to pay so much money to be on this bitch. But I will be here on Thursday to speak about this very same thing with two wonderful cops. And I hope you're there. I hope you're there and present. I hope you're there in spirit. And with that being said, you lovely ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, y'all have a good night. Salute, salute, salute. Ashe.